Hello everybody, how are we doing? How's the day been so far? You probably came in here for 15 minutes just to have a little rest because there's been a lot of walking and stuff today, hasn't there been? Unfortunately there's very little rest when I give a talk, simple as that, so I'll be getting your input over the next 15 minutes. In a nutshell, we're going to talk about social media, but we're certainly going to tie that into all elements of your runaways by water, mate. That's the one I was just given a second ago. I'm serious, yeah. Yeah, no, it's alright, don't worry, I'll have a dry throat. Jesus, hold on to your possessions, lads. Here you go. Very good. Good stuff. Alright. So we're going to talk about social media and how it ties into digital marketing. Has anyone ever heard of my name before? Just inflate my ego. Go on for a second here. So in a nutshell, I fell into the digital marketing / social media world by accident. I set up a business, a hellishly unsuccessful business, I might add, called Careers Coach about 9 years ago. I was in recruitment for the guts of a decade. And I thought it'd be a great idea to help people with their careers. So I did a dodgy website and I stuck it online and I flung my virtual doors open. And a bit of tumbleweed passed me by, and I realised I was in some serious trouble. And I realised pretty quickly that no one can do business with us unless they know we exist. So I rooted around in my wallet, had very little money in it. I have a couple of kids and a demanding Australian wife, so didn't have much cash to spend. And I realised, how the hell was I going to get the word out there to let people know I existed? And in a nutshell, I embraced the world of social media a bit like a long-lost lover to tell people who I was, what I did, and probably more importantly, what value I could offer them. So the one thing I'll say regarding digital marketing as we're talking about it today is think like your customer, not like your business. So everything you do, your website should be created for your customer, not for yourself. Your message for your customer, not for yourself. And it's very, very easy to jump online and come across like some wild, mad salesperson that no one wants to do business with when we're not thinking like our customer. So that's really the key. So that's what I realized pretty quickly. So one thing, just before we get started, just thinking of your own business, your own website, your own email marketing campaigns, your own channels that you've jumped in the social media world. Think about what's the purpose of all this. So a lot of us have websites because we know we need to have a website. We're on Facebook because everyone else is on Facebook. But the reality is we've got to have some sort of strategic plan why we're doing anything. So just take a moment just to think of what is the job of digital marketing in my business? What's the purpose? What's the goal? And I'm going to randomly pick a couple of people just to tell me what their goals are. So I'd be very nervous. Be very, very nervous. So you're smiling, you're happy. This is brilliant. So digital marketing, what's the goal for your digital marketing efforts? So for the world to get to know your business outside, brilliant. So that's a brilliant awareness thing. And very often when we talk about social media is often talked as brilliant for branding and creating awareness. Now, quite frankly, when I run a business, awareness is one thing, but sales is the big thing. So it's not only awareness, but I also want to make sure that digital marketing actually converts for my business, generates sales. It's a great picture. What's that picture of it? It's lovely. There we are, just in case we wanted to see what outside looked like. So, generating awareness or possibly generating sales. So selfish hats on, thinking about what you can do. As regards a definition of social media, I often think people get social media horribly wrong. A, they think it's this big fuzzy branding thing, which it doesn't have to be. B, they're on all these platforms because they exist, but actually have no bloody clue why they're there. but their competitors there, so they need to be there. So a quick definition for social media for business: tools and technologies that facilitate conversations online. So a couple of minor things there. I've said tools and technologies. So again, if I'm a business, I'm probably quite busy. So I'm going to have to use some tools that are going to help me with my social media efforts. So for example, I may use scheduling tools. So there's a super tool called Hootsuite that I use a lot to schedule my social media activity across multiple platforms. Listening tools. Let's be honest, a lot of the conversations and the leads aren't going to come directly to us. We're going to have to listen and find them. So I'm going to need to use some listening tools to find out what people are saying about my business and about my industry behind my back, and try to turn them into business opportunities. So something as simple as an advanced search on Twitter can be magnificent for finding business opportunities. I know mobile phone companies that literally run automated searches on Twitter for people that say they need a new mobile phone. And within seconds, they're offering you a good deal. So listening tools that we might use, and then measurement tools, of course. And one of the biggest problems when it comes to social media for business is a lot of us haven't decided what its job is, so we don't know what to measure. So the beautiful thing is, if social media or even digital marketing's job is sales, I have to ask myself how many sales, and then I need to measure whether it's actually converting. So there's Facebook Insights on our Facebook page, there's Twitter Analytics, and even more importantly, if the journey is taking someone to your website, there's Google Analytics. So hands up here who has Google Analytics on their website, for example. Most of us. And anyone that doesn't, I'm fearful of you, get on it. How many people that put their hands up have goals set up on their Google Analytics? So again, far less. In fact, there's only about 1.5 people. So the reality is, there's no point even having Google Analytics and tracking people's journey from social and other digital marketing efforts unless I can see what converts. So we want to make damn sure that even if we learn anything out of this talk, I need to go away and figure out what goals are on my Google Analytics, so I can measure whether I'm being a busy fool or a productive one from my social media efforts. So I said tools and technologies. So the technologies are the platforms themselves. So Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, very popular and probably over-egged platform for business in 2016, LinkedIn and so on, that facilitate conversations. Now this is where we all go horribly wrong as companies. We fall into this horrible tendency of making bloody statements. And you can look at your own social media efforts after today. 9 times out of 10, the social media updates from companies is a statement. Boom. It's very difficult to engage with a statement. So imagine after all this walking and networking we did today, we all went across the road to the Horse Show House for a pint, right? Imagine that. Now imagine, we're probably a bit tired, so this could happen. But imagine we're all in the pub having a pint together, and we're friends now. And imagine we just make statements to each other. Just picture that for a second. It'd be pretty bloody weird, wouldn't it? That would be freakily weird. We'd probably find ourselves in that situation where we've done the one thing no Irish person has ever done. Leave the pub after the one drink and go home and say the weirdest thing happened down the pub after the event today. I just couldn't get a conversation going. And let's be honest, when it comes to social media, it's all about those conversations. And why do we want to have conversations happening online? From a reach and a ripple effect. At the end of the day, you like my update on Facebook, your friends see that update. You share my update on LinkedIn, your connections see my update on LinkedIn. It's all about the engagement piece. It's all about starting and instigating those conversations. So looking at your strategy and your goals for social media should be built around trying to build those conversations up. Isn't it a pity that I'm not like reading my PowerPoint presentation? Because I'd be pretty screwed right now, wouldn't I? That would be just horrendous. Another simple thing when it comes to the kind of social media pace as well is, bearing in mind 90% of customers would rather trust someone that comes recommended than someone that doesn't. So a massive piece of the social media thing is to try to turn some of your customers and some of your clients into your advocates. Get them talking about you online. Getting them saying wonderful things about you online. Because I'm far more likely to buy a product or service that my mate recommends through social media than from your social media page saying we have this product that we're flogging. So trying to figure out ways of actually generating engagement. This is great crack altogether. The other thing is the video piece. And the brilliant news, guys, is we're charmers in Ireland, aren't we? Put a bloody video recorder near us. We're the weakest, most feeble human beings in the world. We lose the ability to speak. We sound like me at 4 a.m. in Temple Bar. Pretty hard, pretty all over the shop, quite frankly. That's after a hard night out, 4 a.m. in Temple Bar. But the reality is we're naturally awful on video as Irish people. I hate to say it, we really are. I've seen a lot of video stuff done by companies that has probably cost them 4 or 5 grand. It's the accountant next to the white wall telling you about his accounting practice, and the only thing that his video achieves for me is, Jesus, I'm glad he's not my accountant. So the reality is we've got to try to figure out a way of using video. It's becoming massive. Cisco, now they have an unfair kind of, I suppose, investment in video, but they're claiming by the end of 2017, 70% of consumer internet traffic is going to be video. And let's be honest, even looking at my kids, they don't watch TV, they're watching YouTube. I'm not watching TV, I'm watching Netflix. It's bizarre, everything is turning video. Depending on who your audience is, they'd much rather watch you on video than read one of your boring articles. No disrespect to your articles. So we need to get over our fear of video and embrace it. When it comes to social media, and even visiting our website, for a lot of businesses, the traffic is 70+% is going to come from mobile. So if that's the platform that people are on, when we're building our digital marketing strategy and we're thinking things through, we need to think mobile. But so often in business, we sit there with our massive laptop computers with stupid monitors, and we plan our digital marketing efforts through them to look fabulous there, and they don't work on mobile devices. So the other thing really is this buzz term. I'm sure we've all heard the word content marketing before. This is my favorite definition out there. It's an absolute genius. And the reality is, nail this and you will start to create brilliant content for your newsletters, your email marketing campaigns, your website, but certainly in my way of thinking, your blogs and your social media updates. So let's do a bit of a death by PowerPoint thing. Let's read this thing. So we're saying content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience and ultimately to drive profitable customer action. That's your strategy right there in a nutshell. That's what you've got to figure out. So it's a strategic approach. It's not just that we'll suck it and see, we'll follow everyone else, with the blind leading the blind. It's creating valuable content, relevant content. So that's not streaming the event that no one wants to look at on Twitter. That's actually talking to the speakers that are at the event, maybe getting them to share some really valuable information with the social media audience in an intimate way. But ultimately, it's not being afraid of asking for the sale. And it amazes me, sometimes there's two people that do things wrong when it comes to content. Number one type of person flogs. They can't resist themselves to be a mad, crazy salesperson online and saying, buy my product. And we run away a mile. And then the other person just gets it. They're all about creating value, but they do it in such a way that I really get great information, but have no clue who the person is and how they can help my business. So we need to make sure that everything we do is strategic and it's focused on generating a sale, essentially. Let's wrap up with this slide, right? These are 5 future trends which are happening already, okay? So video we've talked about is evolving, it's exploding. We see live streaming being launched on business pages on Facebook, in groups on Facebook, in events on Facebook. We even see Mark Zuckerberg saying in November 2014 that in 5 years' time he expects Facebook to be a video social network. So video, we need to take it seriously. And even if that's using webinars, we need to take it seriously. Unique content becomes vital. Rich content becomes vital. The algorithms, it's got so busy out there in the social media, digital marketing space, it's hard to get noticed. And what Google, Facebook, LinkedIn have started to figure out is it's able to look at your content and see whether it's duplicate content, whether it's salesy content, whether it's meaningless content, and it ultimately degrades it. Pushes it down the search results. So what the search engines are now looking for is they're looking for valuable content, preferably content that they haven't seen elsewhere, and that's the content that they're promoting. So that's becoming massive. Social advertising is becoming incredibly powerful. And the reality is now I can target my audience. I can target you all different messages through your social ads by segmenting you. There's a great tool actually if anyone does Facebook ads called Ad Espresso, which is freaking amazing to actually create multiple different versions of the same ad. So the ad that goes to you is far more intimate than the ad that goes to you. So it's a little bit more targeted. So my son, he supports Manchester United, and it's an awful. We all have our disabilities in life, but that's his anyway. So he supports Man United. The reality is, on his Facebook newsfeed, the day Man United won the FA Cup, was literally a message from Lifestyle Sports offering him a jersey as a reduced price and saying FA Cup champions. Now, they knew better than to serve that up on my newsfeed. So the reality is we're becoming very intelligent. We're able to serve up people the right ad on the right platform at the right time. And a word that you need to get very used to in the digital world in 2016 is the word remarketing. I'm sure you've heard of it before, remarketing. The people that have visited your website, looked at your products and services, are far more likely to convert than the people that don't know you exist. So remarketing ads on Twitter, Facebook, or even Google are super ways to increase your sales. So get au fait when it comes to remarketing ads. The other thing is we're in this age of advocacy. So I remember years ago, IBM literally training from their janitor to their CEO on the use of digital marketing and social media. They've done it over the course of the year, with the goal being is most companies say, don't mention us outside work hours, don't do this, don't do that. And they realize that this is bonkers. Let's give all our staff really cool stuff that they can share with their friends. And IBM's lucky, they've got thousands and thousands of staff. So they are trying to turn all their staff into advocates, promoting their product and service online. So there's employee advocacy. So think of the people in the office that literally wouldn't say anything about what happens in the office to their friends. They probably have 1,000 Facebook friends and potentially people that can come and do business with you. So open your mind up to that possibility. Last then is there's a brand or customer advocates as well. Don't stop by selling the product to someone and then walk away from them. That's the time when you build a relationship. Try to turn them into someone that jumps online and says wonderful stuff about your product. So I think when it comes to digital marketing, there's probably 4 elements of good digital marketing, and I'll leave you with these 4 elements. Number 1, objective. First thing I need to do, let people know I exist. Because heck, they can't buy from me if they don't know I exist. Number 1, let the right people know that I exist. Boom. Second thing that I want to do is I want to demonstrate my knowledge and my passion. Never underestimate the power of passion online. If you can get your personality online as a business, that's powerful stuff. I always think it's developing likability. We'd all rather buy a product and service from a company we like. So awareness, likability being number 2 if you like. Number 3, Jerry Maguire, show me the money, ask for the sale. God, they know you exist, they like you. Why not suggest that they buy something off you? So number 3, ask for the sale. And the 4th thing, before I shut up for a bit, is turn every person that buys your product into an advocate, or try to. So actually make sure that you're following up with the people that have bought your product and service. You're possibly sharing cool stuff with them. You'll see the likes of Brown Thomas do this very well. You know, the people that buy their cosmetics, they get invited for previews, they get sent samples, and they're literally given all this exclusive content for being a customer of Brown Thomas. And what do? They jump online and they tell their mates. So the 4 things first is turn your customers that you've converted into advocates. Don't go cha-ching on the cash register and say job done and walk away, because that's a missed opportunity. So guys, that's the end of our 15-minute chat, which is more a 20-minute chat, let's be honest. This gentleman here said he'd hold up hands and stuff to warn me when it was over. So I've made no eye contact with him whatsoever, just ignored him. I figured that was my best approach. Guys,